Welcome, true believers. You know, it's been a long time since I've done an unboxing video. What with life happening, getting ready for Washington SummerCon, and also focusing on commentary companions, it's been a very long time since I've gotten rather intimate with you guys and done something I really like, such as, an unboxing video. But, I've been focusing on other things. But I figured I could do something fun. An unboxing video while paying tribute to one of the writers. Oh, hold on. There's something on there. There we go. That was going to bother me. Anyway, so in my last commentary companions video, I decided to do a commentary companion on The Punisher, the 2004 movie. My next commentary companion video will be about Spider-Man 2, the 2004 movie, not the PS5 video game, not to be confused, but I'm sure you probably knew that. But while this was happening, a Marvel writer passed away. That Marvel writer being Peter David. And I felt it was in my best interest to, dedicate one of my companion videos in his memory because he contributed a lot for Marvel. Why, Peter David is such a big deal. He even wrote the Marvel vs. DC crossover. Well, co-wrote them, specifically issues 2 and 4. Yeah, I still have them, even though I have an omnibus. But to be fair, the omnibus has the amalgam stories as well as DC vs. Marvel All Access, and I just had to have it. And let me tell you, I do love that omnibus. It's pretty awesome. I might read it again sometime. But anyway, when Peter David passed away, I decided I want to buy a few more comic books that he wrote to honor his memory. I got 3 specifically. One of them is still in Florida being delivered as I film this, specifically The Incredible Hulk vs. Venom. For you see, Peter David's best works for Marvel were for The Incredible Hulk himself. Here's a history lesson on when he started working for them. Peter David was born on September 23rd, 1956 in Fort Meade, Maryland. The first comic that Peter ever read as a child was Fantastic Four Annual Number 3, published in 1965, which produced a lifelong obsession with comic books. He originally wanted to be a reporter, but after finding that unsuccessful, he searched alternative routes. In the early 1980s, David worked for Marvel Comics as an assistant direct sales manager under Carol Kalish, eventually getting promoted to sales manager as well. Years later, Peter David's first comic book that he ever wrote for was The Spectacular Spider-Man. One of his most notable issues was The Death of Jean DeWolff, one of the most prominent Spider-Man stories where frequent ally, police captain Jean DeWolff, was killed by the Sin Eater. The death of Jean DeWolff would also plant the seeds for the eventual Spider-Man villain / anti-hero, Venom. But eventually, Peter would start writing for Hulk in 1987, starting with The Incredible Hulk number 328. He wrote over 130 issues for the Jade Giant. How awesome is that? And of course, one of Peter David's most iconic creations was Maestro, the dark future version of the Hulk. Other characters that Peter David created, aside from Maestro, were Hope Summers for X-Men, Foreigner, a Spider-Man villain, Philavel for Guardians of the Galaxy, Marlo Chandler, Amadeus Cho, Spider-Side, the Dark Horse character Spyboy, and most famously, Miguel O'Hara, also known as Spider-Man 2099. What a legacy. Of course, Peter David's most greatest legacy was when he collaborated with the late but great George Perez on Future Imperfect, a definitive storyline for The Incredible Hulk that also introduced Maestro, the Hulk's dark future counterpart that could appear in the future. Who knows? In the Marvel Universe, the future is unwritten and undefined. You never know what will happen in the future of Marvel, because not everything is written in stone, especially if Marvel editorial keeps on sabotaging certain future characters, if you catch my drift. But yeah, in Peter David's memory, I decided to get some comics. They finally came in. So, I'm sure you want to see me unbox and get it over with. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's start with this one. Alright. It's been a while since I've done this. Ah, this is perfect timing. Here it is. Well, I should get rid of this cellophane, that way the light doesn't glare on it. The Incredible Hulk, Future Imperfect, Part 1. Illustrated by the late but great George Perez. You know, when I think of George Perez, I think of his work on DC with Teen Titans, as he was the one that helped Dick Grayson turn into Nightwing. But I gotta say, he really knew how to draw Hulk well. And he was perfectly qualified for the Justice League Avengers crossover. Now, to open this up. Also, yeah, it was George Perez that illustrated the Infinity Gauntlet, the storyline in which Thanos snapped away half the population, influencing Avengers Infinity War. So yeah, he's kind of a big deal. George Perez. Rest in peace to George Perez. He was a very talented artist. Ooh, I got some little dinosaur stickers. There's a Stegosaurus. And there's the mother yuckin' T-Rex. That's awesome. I'm surprised to be sure, but a welcome one. And we have Part 2. Future Imperfect of The Incredible Hulk. And this has the Maestro in the cover. The older Hulk. This is a very nice cover. And it's in perfect condition for the most part, and I can feel like a 3D texture on both of these. You don't get that kind of gimmick anymore, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I really like the way George would draw the Hulk. I think it was probably a big influence on the 2003 Hulk design. But yeah, there you have it. Future Imperfect, Parts 1 and 2. I cannot wait to read these, and I'm also excited to read The Incredible Hulk vs. Venom when it finally gets delivered. But, you know, gotta wait. But anyway, before I end this video, I just want to say, rest in peace, Peter David. Thank you for everything that you've done for Marvel and DC and various other comic imprints. I think the best legacy you can leave is leaving stories that people of all ages can get a chance to read together. Because that's what being a comic book fan is all about. Reading and enjoying together. We'll greatly miss you, Peter David. Thank you for everything that you've done. Rest in peace, Peter David. You will be missed. Anyway, thank you for watching my unboxing video and for listening to my little history lesson. I'm happy to talk about the comic book writers and the illustrators, because that's what celebrating comics is all about, celebrating the writers and the artists and the colors and the inkers. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next Commentary Companions video. Don't have a good day. Have a great day.